is Jen, and today I am coming to you with a little bit of an unhaul. So it is just about June, or it will be June in like the next couple of days, which means I have exactly 1 month left until my book buying ban is officially over and I can, finally buy all of these books that I have been jonesing to buy for months now. So in the interest of not making my life so super complicated or completely and utterly overrun, especially considering that I cut my list of books I want to buy down and there's still just so many on there, I know that I need to make some room. So I just went through my shelves. If you can tell, things look slightly different behind me. I just reorganized everything between all three of my main shelves. They're all like alphabetical now. I don't know if I like it or not, but you know what, I'm very tired, so it's going to stay like that for a while anyway. I went through all of my shelves in the course of reorganizing, and I decided on some books that I'm going to get rid of. Most of these I am going to add to my overflowing bag over here in the corner of books that I plan on trying to donate to my favorite secondhand shop if they are able to take donations now. So yeah, the majority of these will be going into that, and there's a couple in here that I have borrowed from my parents, and those will just be going back to them. So yeah, let's get into these bad boys. So first up on my list of books that I want to part with is this collection called Once Upon a Star, and this has 4 stories. They're all 4 romance stories, and they are by Nora Roberts, Jill Gregory, Ruth Ryan Langan, and Marianne Willman. I'm liking one of the stories from here, and I think it was the Nora Roberts story, but I wasn't really that interested in the other stories at all, and so I just kind of asked myself, why the hell am I hanging on to this? I didn't really like it that much. Do I care about it? Really? No. So that's gonna get added to the bag. Next up is a book that I just read last year, and that was Longborn by Jo Baker. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, kind of, from the point of view of the downstairs staff. This follows Sarah, who is one of the housemaids at Longborn. Wow, I had the biggest brain fart, really. So this follows her and her life and struggles at the time when the events of Pride and Prejudice are kind of happening, and then following those events. It was not a bad story, and there was clearly a ton of research that was done into it, but it's one of those stories that I didn't particularly enjoy myself while I was reading it, and I cannot see myself reading this at any time whatsoever in the future. So this is getting added to the bag as well, sadly. Next up, I have a couple of books that I have read and I'm just not interested in anymore. The first being Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I know. But, like, the series is now complete, right? It's complete as of, like, what, last year? I still only have the first book, and the more I've just been looking into it, I'm just like, I did like the story, but I just don't think I enjoyed it enough to really see myself collecting the rest of the books in the series, and the thing is, while I enjoyed it at the time, it's just not something that I'm really interested in any longer. So I would rather it go off to someone who would be interested in starting the journey with this book. So next up, I have decided also to part with Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I did not really enjoy this that much when I read it back when it first came out. I was hoping that perhaps when the second book, I think it's Nexus, would come out, maybe that would be better. Maybe I would enjoy it a lot more than this one, but I don't really know how long the other one's been out, but I have no drive to get it, no drive to read it. So the more I think about it, I'm just like, why am I holding on to this if I also don't want to read the sequel? And for a while I was just keeping it. Like last year it was saved in my purging because I figured, well, maybe one day I will pick up the second one. Plus, I mean, I should still have some sci-fi on my shelves. And then I kind of just realized recently, it's like, who the fuck cares if I have any science fiction on my shelves at all? It's just not something that I read a lot of. Why should I hold on to it if I just because it's sci-fi? What is the fucking, like, logic in that, really? Who cares? So, yeah, I'm gonna send this off to someone who will hopefully enjoy it, I suppose. And then I have a book that I actually DNF'd, which you'll probably hear more about, I guess, in my May wrap-up. But yeah, I plan on getting rid of Godmother, which is the Secret Cinderella Story by Carolyn Turgeon. My bestie was getting rid of some books a couple of months ago. I looked through the books to see if there was any that I was interested in taking, and this was one of the couple that I grabbed. I was hoping for a lot out of this, and it wasn't really... I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up. Anyway, this is now in the bag pile. And then I have some books that I have not read. So first up, also in my purging of books that I'm keeping just cause and I'm never going to fucking read it, we have Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I have had this book for several years now. I got this at the time that I discovered BookTube, and had really been watching videos and was hearing people talk up this series so much, and I like retellings, and the fact that this is like a fairy tale retelling but in space, I mean, that sounded fucking awesome. And at the time, I think I was riding high off of the sci-fi channels, like retellings of things. You know, they did Tin Man for Wizard of Oz, they have Alice for Alice in Wonderland, which is like the only version of Alice in Wonderland that I find palatable. Sorry. And then, like, you know, they had that kind of thing, so I thought, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be like that, but like so much better. Yeah, I have had this for I don't know how many years now, still have not managed to pick it up, and I mean, I have attempted the first couple of chapters several times, and then I always end up setting it aside and going, I guess I'm just not in the mood. And I think the thing is that I just have to give up. Like, I have to face the music here. I'm never going to read this. Ever. Like, I want to. My intentions are pure here. I really want to read it. But the fact of the matter is, if I can't get past the first couple of chapters, and I keep telling myself I'm going to read this, I'm going to love it, and I just never gravitate towards it anymore, I'm never going to pick it up, guys. And again, why hold on to sci-fi if I'm not going to fucking read it? So, somebody out there will love it, I'm sure. But next up is a book that was actually in this house when we moved into it, and I kept it because it's historical fiction and I enjoy historical fiction, and I figured, hey, that might be interesting. It is Beyond the Ancient Cities. It is by Jose Maria Marino. This has to do with like the conquistadors or something to do with that. I thought, hey, this might be interesting, and then the more I think about it as time goes by, I'm like, why the fuck do I care about conquistadors? I don't. Then the last couple of books are books that I am returning to my parents. One is How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. My mom handed me this like a couple of years ago, I guess, to help with my anxiety, I guess. I'm just... The fact of the matter is, I'm not a self-help kind of girl. Like, I don't enjoy self-help books. It's not something that I'm really into. It's not something that I fully support all the time. So I don't think that I'm going to read this, and I don't think it's, yeah, it's just not something that I'm gonna pick up. It's just not it. So this is gonna go back to them. Lastly, I'm giving up on a series. And this is the In Death series by J.D. Robb, aka Nora Roberts. I borrowed Fantasy in Death and Leverage in Death from my parents a couple of years ago now, because they were like, you have to read these, and they knew that I liked this series, and had told me, you know, it's great. So if you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I had decided to try to read the series from the beginning, and I had kind of bad luck with that. I did not really like the first two books in the series, and I ended up DNFing the third book, and I don't know, I've just kind of decided that I don't want any part in the series. I might revisit it at some point in the future, but as of right now, I just don't have the interest, and because I just don't feel the drive and I don't have the interest, it feels really silly to continuously hold on to these books that are so far ahead in the series that God knows when I'm actually going to get around to reading them. So they might as well just go back to my parents. And I will either borrow them at a later date, or I'll just get them out of the library or find them online or something. So it's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it of the books that I have decided to purge out of my life. As you can see probably here, I just have this little gap that I've made. It's not much, but it's something. I probably still will not have room for everything I want to get in July, but that is July Jen's problem to sort out. So yeah, I can't wait until then. I have a friend who is visiting that I haven't seen in like a year. That's gonna be up then. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna go book shopping. It's gonna be great. I'm hoping that the bookstore will be accepting donations now, that I can ask them if they would like any of these books that I'm getting rid of, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time, and I get to finally spend that sweet money on some great things. I'm so jazzed, to be honest. I am incredibly jazzed. Like I said, I've cut the list down, and I know I'm probably gonna add more things. I have to, like, I haven't really been watching a lot of everybody else's videos, firstly because I just do not have the time anymore, really, and secondly, because if it's like haul videos or like wrap-ups and stuff like that, I end up finding more books that I want to read, and I'm like, I cannot possibly fit any more into this right now. I have to hold off. Like, I can't learn anything else about any more books right now, because I just, no. But I'm just, yeah, I'm so super excited about it. I can't wait to show you guys what books I got and when I eventually get them. I'm jazzed. But anyway, I hope that you guys are having a great weekend, a great week whenever you're watching this, and I will see you next time, guys.